polo, the sport where players riding horses have to hit a ball with a long wooden mallet into the opponent's goal. But hang on a minute, there are no horses here. The Irish have developed their own version of this game. It's the last day of school for James Harding and his friends. Today is the beginning of the 2-month-long summer holidays. The boys have lots of plans about what they want to do. When the weather is good, as it is this year, the Irish are very inventive. James has just turned 18, an age at which he will have to make lots of decisions regarding his future. First, he discards his school uniform. There's also a great deal to sort out in his private life. The 4th year, or transition year in Ireland, is intended for self-orientation and broadening one's knowledge base. Pupils in this year are encouraged to discover and recognise their leanings, talents and abilities and try new things out.
And we learn all about different things, such as politics in Europe and the recent history and how to cook and how to sew and practical skills that would help us for life that may not necessarily be in a book or be on an exam. And we learn all about the world and how it works. So that's what we do in 4th year. So it's a good break from other subjects in school and all this.
But that's not all. James has a whole load of other hobbies, like, for example, performing card tricks, which he can practice during the long school holidays. James is very inventive. He can make animals out of balloons for young children. But his favourite hobby is music. But music is not the only thing that's fun. This is James' latest discovery this summer. Polo, Irish style. This holiday, James has decided to learn how to play bicycle polo professionally. Trainer Evan Connon explains the basics.
Okay, James, this is a bicycle polo bike, as I said earlier, and what this is that this bike, it's a fixed wheel sport. There's no brake levers. The reason that we don't have brake levers is if you had a brake lever and someone ran into you and done that, it would grab your hands. So the idea is the hands are free. At any stage you can step off.
Yeah. So how do you brake?
How do you brake is basically what you do is you get on the bike and you literally push the bike forward with your one pedal, like forward, push back, and push back like that. You put pressure on the back leg to pull the bike backwards.
It's not really difficult.
It's not that difficult. Once you actually get the hold of this bike, the gearing here is a low base. It's not a high gearing like a big mountain bike or a cycling bike. So the idea is fixed wheels, small gearing, small wheel frame base, and the bike will just go.
Compared to horse polo, bicycle polo is easier to learn. Almost everyone can ride a bike. You don't have to learn how to ride a horse first. It's always important to be able to cycle backwards and forwards using only one hand, and how to keep possession of the ball with the polo mallet and move speedily in the direction of the goal. You have to be able to cycle as if it's second nature. The cycles are not allowed to have brakes because, well, horses don't have any either. This trick is very important. If there's nothing else to do, hit the ball through under the pedals.
Here we are.
James' mother knows about horse polo, but not the cycle version, for not everyone in Ireland has heard of it. She already knows about James' decision, and she doesn't miss a chance to find out more about his new passion.
Hardly bicycle polo, I wouldn't have
No,
thought.
not by horse polo.
Horse polo, indeed, yeah. Has the horse polo started yet?
Yeah, it has, yeah.
It always looks very dangerous for the
No,
spectators.
because, you know, you can control the bike. You can't control a horse.
Yeah.
You know, a bicycle has no brain. A horse has a brain. So I'd be much more afraid to play horse polo. And in bicycle polo, there is tactics, and there's no tactics in horse polo. They all run towards the ball. They all run this way. They all run this way. I've told you, I've been on about it before.
So on Sunday then we'll watch you playing polo, and then we'll wait and watch the horse polo, and then we'll actually learn a bit about it, eh?
Great.
Don't make a sound. I know you're watching, waiting. Come take me over, pillars and posts. I know you're watching, you're waiting, and your sex is on fire, and
James and his recently formed band often rehearse the latest rock hits, but they want more. Maybe a career in music.
Once a month, maybe we do a gig and play for people at a venue. And we're hoping to get our songs recorded professionally soon enough. Sport and music are both huge parts of my life and a lot of people's lives my age. So I'd like to keep doing both as long as I can, and when the time comes I'll have to make a decision to pick one, and whichever one I'm better at or whichever one I'm enjoying more, I'll probably pick that one, but at the moment I can't tell.
Evan has developed a strict training programme for his boys. Training even takes place on Sunday. Dublin's quiet then, and there's not too much traffic. James' friend Finton comes along too. If James wants to play in an adults match, then normally he'll have to train very hard.
So we'll tell you what, we'll head down the road here and get a bit of training in.
Yeah, sounds good.
And we'll head down to Sandymount and down by the beach.
Yeah,
And we'll go down there. All right.
There are not many cycle lanes in Dublin. It's only possible to cycle through the city unhindered on Sundays and public holidays. James loves to explore his city by bike. Dublin, U2's hometown, the city where they grew up, and in spite of their huge success, they've never really turned their backs on the place. This is James' favourite street. Musicians are to be seen everywhere in Dublin.
As I was going over the Cork and Kerry mountain, I met with Captain Farrell and my money he was counting. I first produced my pistol and then produced me rapier. I said, stand and deliver, or the devil he may take your mush.
One of the oldest railways in the world crosses the River Liffey. And right up there, the famous Daniel O'Connell, the Liberator, stands watch. The heart of Dublin, where the young people congregate. Ireland has one of the youngest populations in Europe.
My pocket and I brought it home to Jenny. She sighed and she swore she never would deceive me. But the devil take the women, cause they never can be easy.
The ancient Celtic town of Dublin has developed into a modern, busy city. With more than 1 million inhabitants, Dublin is the hub of both Irish business and transport. When James eats out, you'll always find him in the Chipper, Dublin's oldest fast food restaurant. Fish and chips is the young people's favourite food, although only cooked in the Irish way. That is, fried, but using very little fat.
So when we were at Johnny's house, and I'm going to make crispy bits separate.
And 5 down one night.
The Chipper is also where people go to meet each other, because you have to be 18 before you can go into a real Irish pub.
Yeah, he's coming with like Kate and me.
James needs the food, especially today. He's about to prepare for the big match against the adult team. It takes place in Dublin's Phoenix Park, where the small but growing bicycle polo community meets regularly.
There's two teams now emerging in the group. There's the junior team and the senior team, really. But we're one club together. We're a joint unit when we go abroad and we represent Ireland. We're all very nice to each other. You know, there's a bit of argy-bargy, a bit of crack. There's some rivalries sparking up between, but they're all healthy rivalries, and it just makes the games more intense and better. We're pretty much friends. There's no real issue with age, really. It's just we all come for the same reason. It's the love of the sport.
Don't say no.
This the hitting side, this the back side, right?
Backside.
I'll put this out.
The whistle is electronic, and then they're off. Each team tries to keep possession of the ball and ensure that it is kept in play around the outside line of the goal, or at least in the middle of the pitch. Fouls are not permitted. James is totally involved. Riding with the stick has become second nature to him. A game or match is made up of 4 10-minute chukkers, the same as a quarter, with short breaks in between. The younger team has enough stamina, but not many tricks. The older experienced team has already scored 3 goals. James already has his first accident. His wheel is buckled. No problem. Each player can repair his own bike. Why else do you wear a helmet? James got that from the older guys. So the wheel is quickly straightened out, well, sort of, and it's back in the game. Just like football, bicycle polo is about scoring goals. For James, it is the perfect addition to normal bicycle riding.
In a polo game, you have a lot of freedom. You can go wherever you want and as many times as you want, and you cover about 10 or 8 kilometres in a game, depending on your position. On a normal bike, you know, it just depends where you're going, how far you'll go, and you don't really have a lot of freedom on the road. So there's a lot of differences, but you know, they're both good things to be able to do, and I'm happy I can do both of them.
Well done, James. Tails. Look, straight. Have it.
It's James' last attempt to score a goal, and he misses. He's still finding it quite difficult to ride and shoot at the same time. Meanwhile, it started to rain again, but then we're quite used to that in Ireland. Head trainer Evan scores the last goal. James' team may have lost, but they gave a good account of themselves. And for James, in his first outing against the adult team, that's almost as good as winning. Whether this first game will be the beginning of a new sports career for James is still open.
I don't really know yet. I haven't decided what I want to be yet, because there's such a broad range of choices to be made, and we'll do that next year. Really, you have to pick next year. So I'll think about it more when it comes to the time. Right now, I'm just you know, enjoying myself, taking it easy, and having a good time.
James is not too worried about the future. If you are someone like James, who does so much both in school and out, you can be relaxed about what the future holds.